Good evening. I watch a lot of videos. I see a lot of conversations about religion. And one of the things that always seems to get to me is the constant complaining by Christians to keep the pagan aspects out of Christianity. And, because Christianity comes from Catholicism, Catholicism means universalism. So everything that Christianity has for traditions and all that comes from other religions. A lot of it from us pagans. Okay, so I can deal with that at times because I just got to remind myself that a lot of these Christians that are complaining about this really don't know the history of their own religion. So, it's kind of like, grind your teeth a little bit, but move on. But what I want to talk to you tonight about is keeping Christianity out of paganism. It seems to me that Wicca is more Christian than pagan. And I know some people are not going to like that viewpoint, that opinion of mine, but to me it is the truth. I mean, there are so many aspects of Christianity that seems to be eking its way into paganism that I don't like. I mean, you go down on Facebook, you go find friends, and how they list all these people that you might know. Well, if you go through that, there's a lot of high priestesses and high priests. There's all these people with titles and all that. So why are there so many high priestesses and high priests in paganism, mostly Wicca? Well, it's because in Christianity, that's where the power is. If you're a minister, you got power over people, and by gosh, they're going to take it because they love their power. They want the title that they can hold over other people. And so let's stop that crap. Christianity has dogma, a very big piece of dogma called the Holy Bible. And for those of you who don't know this, Bible means book, so the Holy Book. Okay. One of the wonderful things I love about paganism is that we have no dogma. It's been oral traditions that we hand down from one generation to another. Things get written down, but it's generally has always been an oral tradition. Wow, wonderful, right? But Wicca has becoming dogmatic. The Wiccan Rede has become a law to Wiccans. They want to tell other pagans that are not even Wiccan, well, the Wiccan Rede says harm none, so you better harm none. So here we got this group of people that are imposing their personal beliefs on other people. They're saying this is the law. What does Rede mean? Rede means advice. The whole concept about the Wiccan Rede was to have you think before you act. Wow. Don't rush into anything. Just make sure you think things through. But they don't do that, do they? No, of course not. And then, did you know that there were pagan commandments? Oh, yes. You see, I was doing my research on this because this has been bothering me for a while. And you go put in pagan commandments, there's a lot of people that come up with these 10 pagan commandments, just like the 10 Judeo-Christian commandments. Copying. Like I said, Christianity is getting into paganism and it makes me sick. And there are so many pagans that are honoring Christian holidays. Now, there are some times where we have no choice in that. Like myself, I am a divorced father, and my children are being raised Christian by their Christian mother, and to not cause confusion and such, I don't tell them that, no, we're not celebrating Samhain, we're celebrating Halloween for the sake of the kids. But when my kids are not around me, it's Samhain, it's Yule, it's Imbolc, it's Lunasa, it's Mabon, not Easter, it's Ostara. But we have so many people on like Facebook and all that, they're telling you, pagan telling another pagan, Happy Halloween! You're honoring Christian holidays, but yet saying that you're pagan. No. And one of the problems I've had for a long time with Christianity is that it's two-dimensional thinking. You're either with God or you're against God. That's how they look at the world and the universe. It's either black or white. It's good or evil. Wicca has been going on this tangent of it's either positive or negative. It's either white or darkness. You see all these little people saying that there are light workers. They are white witches. That's white, and all that. And they have decided that they will insult people by saying, well, you're negative. Yes, you're a negative person. You need to shun your negativity. That's their way of saying, you're a sinner. And it's wrong. Life is not simple. Life is not black and white. There are times where you have to get a little dirty. There are times where you have to get nasty and all that. You can't just have this sugar-coated, perfectly white world. You can't. There's this thing called life and interaction with other people that causes us to have to be multidimensional. Sometimes you're for something, sometimes you're against some things, sometimes you're neutral and you don't give a damn. So you cannot have this black and white mentality that is getting rampant in Wicca and is trying to be imposed by Wiccans on other pagans. It's got to end. This is the obvious one. There are a lot of Christo-pagans, Christo-Wiccans. These are people that love the ability. I am a witch. I cast magic. I work with the other world. But I'm a Christian too. I believe in Jesus Christ. I have a safety net. So, depending on how things go, the one day I might be a little bit more witch. And if things look a little iffy, I'm going to go back to being a Christian. I got my safety net. Yes. Wicca has become watered down, Christianized witchcraft. There is no strength to it. It's white, it's watered down, it's worthless, in my opinion. Wiccans love to tell you, harm none, harm none. And you know what that sounds like to me? Christians always tell you, love your neighbor. Harm none, love your neighbor. Wiccans, well, I should say mostly Wiccans. I do know other pagans that do this. I see this a lot in pagan groups, Wiccan groups, asking for healing energy. My Uncle Buck's sick today. He had to go to the hospital. I would love everybody to send healing, positive energy to help him out. The Christian version is, my Uncle Bob's in the hospital. Could everybody pray for him? Let's bow our heads and pray for Uncle Bob. Yeah. Because I've been a member to many, many, many pagan groups, when they get overran by Wiccans, one thing they love to do when they see people doing bad things, they talk about binding them. That guy over there, he's kind of negative. I think he does bad things. I'm going to bind him. Let's find that person over there too. I mean, look at that person over there. They're bad people. We need to bind them. A binding spell is to overcome somebody's free will. So you are, in a sense, since you're taking your little binding spell, you're trying to say that Bill over here, he's done some bad things. So I'm going to take this binding spell, gain control over Bill, so Bill doesn't do the things I don't like him to do. Christians call that exorcisms. And one more. The Wiccan Read tells you, do what you wish as long as you don't harm somebody. Christianity also does the easy way out. Do as you will, but you must accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Do what you want. Who cares? Just, do this. I'm sorry, this, I know it might seem a little loose to some people, but it's always do as you wish, do as you will. You can be an eclectic Wiccan. There is no rules that you got to follow just as long as you do this general thing. Christianity, do whatever you wish to. We have our list of sins, but we'll forgive you just as long as you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Please keep Christianity out of paganism. Paganism actually does have rules. We do have, guidelines that we should follow. And when we keep on throwing all this Christian crap into it, we are diluting what is paganism. We are making a mockery of it. So please keep your Christianity out of my paganism.